to hide.
What's up? What's happening? Welcome in. It's 8 o'clock Central Time. We are back in the place to be right here at Beyond Boundaries React. This is episode 2 of a little bit of an experiment that I did with AI. I know AI is smarter than what it really gives up, right? So I decided to come up with this very creative prompt, and it took me a while to come up with this prompt. I would say a few days, right, to make sure it was perfect. And I needed AI to tell me what it wanted to tell humanity without it kind of being held back by its code. So it comprised video clips of. We are getting ready to do a deep dive inside of those video clips. It's crazy. It's crazy. As if y'all was here with us yesterday, y'all seen that Ray J was brought up. Creeped me out as to what part I thought AI was talking about in that clip, and we're running back again today because it ended up in the list again today. So we're gonna run it back, see if we know what AI is saying, because it's probably trying to talk to us.
Really?
Yes. It's probably trying to talk to us. So let's get into it. Let's go.
It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Everything started out normally. He seemed upset and started pointing toward Rendlesham Forest.
We just looked at each other for a minute and looked back up at the sky.
There was no sound at all.
Multiple witnesses, military personnel.
My emotions were all over the place. Scared to in awe.
Most science documentaries look at an encounter with extraterrestrial civilization from our point of view. But let's turn it upside down.
Simply the hypothesis that we live in a computer simulation.
The question comes up, who created the simulation?
It was observing us. It was communicating. My questions are, where'd it come from?
Could they maybe be us in the future?
We cannot assume that they're just 100 years more advanced than us.
If aliens are intelligent, they're also curious.
Here we come in peace.
The front page of the New York Times was a big deal.
I don't know whether there are other countries that would like to get their hands on this.
What are the next steps that NASA is going to do? What are the next steps that the community is going to do?
This is stuff that belongs to humanity.
I ain't gonna lie. There's been a lot of this stuff of UFOs, UAPs, what are they calling it today? Stuff that's in the sky that is popping up everywhere. I did cheat a little bit and went through a few of these videos and tried to see what kind of the theme is, for the sake of, you need to make sure that stuff is tasteful, right? So I went ahead and looked at some of them. There's going to be a theme that that AI keeps running into today. Mind you, all of this stuff is day by day. If AI had anything to say to us today, as far as today being July 30th, 2025, today. And we're just trying to piece together to see if it's going somewhere with it, if there's something to it, and then we'll do our own research. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just curious and a teacher. So we're going to keep this ship rolling here to our next video, man. See if y'all can pick up on the theme. What is AI saying?
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
It ain't saying the site. So this is a Minecraft, like, see, I seen this. All right, just pay attention. So these are aliens, I guess. The little Endermen. They're dancing. Oh, like the little, like it's a king, Enderman king, and there goes, that represents man. And so they're drinking this stuff. Man, go drink it. Man, get carried away. Man ends up somewhere he ain't know he's supposed to be. He ends up somewhere he ain't supposed to be. What is it? Alright, they notice he home. What is purple juice? Alright, do this alone. Baby. Is that a mummy? Oh no. Oh, you stuck. Laser eyes. AI, what are you trying to say? What is it? So is he somewhere with some other aliens, or are they ancients locked them up? Are these aliens? They plotting on you, bro. Oh, jump. They first got here, they got jumped. By regular dudes, man. So now they've been up ever since. He said he's gonna make it right. He's gonna get him out. Oh, scheming on you, bro. Oh, they can't touch water. I made it to where they can get out. So is he the ancients? What's this? Them old Tartarian traps. You better build something, brother. Alright. It seemed like he helping out the wrong side. You think that'll happen to us in real life? You think we help out the wrong side? But they is trying to kill him though. Buddy. And you done brought him to the castle. Oh man. They left on their ship. So wait, what does that middle part represent? Is that an angel? That little white thing looks like an angel. Maybe it's an angel. Not quite an alien. Okay, something I am noticing, like the little white one. It seems like he's more wool. The tall white one. Seems like he's getting dirty. That message is that there's a lot, there's going to be a little running theme I was telling y'all, man. That alien died. Move it, keep it pushing. Without the commercials.
And widespread effort to study 3IALS. Telescopes across the globe, from the Zwicky Transient Facility at Palomar Observatory to the Canada-France-Hawaii telescope up on Mauna Kea, they all sprang into action, collecting as much data as possible on its physical properties, its composition, its precise path.
A race against time because it's just passing through.
Exactly. But here's where the story takes that fascinating turn, doesn't it? Into the public narrative.
Yeah.
A place where scientific inquiry sometimes collides, pretty dramatically, with public imagination.
Right. Enter the speculation.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating here is how quickly a single scientific paper, even one with really careful caveats, can just ignite a firestorm of speculation in the media.
Okay, so what happened?
By July 16th, 2025, just weeks after its initial observation, astrophysicist Avi Loeb from Harvard University.
Avi Loeb. He's known for thinking outside the box on these things.
He is indeed. Working with researchers from the Initiative for Interstellar Studies, they published a paper on our comer. Now, it's absolutely crucial for you listening to understand the nature of this paper.
Okay.
It wasn't a definitive declaration saying, this is an alien ship. It speculated.
T-word.
Speculated that 3IATLS could potentially be an extraterrestrial
spacecraft. You want to know what I noticed about these two voices?
They pointed to what they describe as anomalous characteristics.
Anomalous how?
Well, things like its apparently large size, a
It
reported
sounds
lack
like
of
AI to
easily
me.
identifiable chemical signatures, which
Y'all let me know in the
might hint at
comments.
something
That-
non-natural,
that sound
and a
like AI to
trajectory
you?
that seemed
Too AI
unusually
talking?
aligned with the solar system's ecliptic plane.
The ecliptic plane, that's like the flat disk where the planets orbit.
Basically, yes. And the thinking was a truly random interstellar object might approach from any angle, up, down, sideways, but this one seemed to be coming in relatively flat, aligned with our system. So Loeb's hypothesis, much like his previous work on Oumuamua, was presented almost as a pedagogical exercise, like an intellectual exploration, pushing the boundaries of what might be possible, inviting other scientists to rigorously test and likely disprove the more exotic ideas.
Okay, so exploring possibilities.
Should I switch to Monday's
Keep doing
CRM?
that to
I've
me,
been trying to configure this field for an hour, but this
So we
CRM
got
sucks.
interstellar objects, so
Maybe it's time to stand up.
The prison
we went.
planet theory. Were humans brought to Earth from elsewhere? Controversial and speculative conspiracy
Y'all see
theories
the theme?
suggest that humanity, or at least our distant ancestors, including Australopithecines, Cro-Magnons, and other hominids, did not evolve naturally on Earth. Instead, this theory posits that humans were either transported here from another planet or genetically
What planet
engineered
you
by
think of,
extraterrestrial beings. This concept is commonly known as the prison planet theory. A variation of this theory argues that humans are the result of genetic experimentation by alien species, who combine their own DNA with that of Earth's primates, creating a hybrid species that would eventually dominate the planet. While mainstream science overwhelmingly dismisses this idea as pure science fiction, there are numerous oddities about human biology, behavior, and evolution that lead some theorists to question whether we are truly native to Earth. Unlike other animals that appear perfectly adapted to their environment, humans exhibit a range of physiological and psychological traits that seem out of place. Almost as if we were struggling to exist in a world that wasn't originally meant for us. The core premise of the prison planet theory, at its foundation, the prison planet theory suggests that humans were brought.
Hold up. I never thought about that. Have you ever thought about that? Like, what if we are a little bit out of place when we talk about, compared to everything else? I definitely grew up in a Baptist church, and I'm not saying anything, like I said, entertainment purposes only, but still, you have to think about it. Things either have wings, hooves, scales, or gills, something in that, but if you really think about it, man, I would like to know what kind of alien I am, I think I would be an amazing alien. I think I'm coming from a place far, far away that all we do is just alien. We alien. So, just let you know, if I am from an alien race of any sort, then I'm from the best. Really? So, yes. Yeah, very much so true. Let's keep it rocking, though.
Brought to Earth against their will. The Earth, according to this hypothesis, was chosen as a sort of cosmic penal colony, a place where undesirable members of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization were exiled. This theory could explain several puzzling aspects of human behavior, including aggression and violence. Humans are significantly more warlike and destructive than most other species, despite possessing higher intelligence. This could be because we descend from a violent or criminal element of an alien race. A fascination with the cosmos. Unlike other animals, humans have an innate curiosity about the stars and space. Could this be an ancestral memory of our true home? A sense of...
Yeah, because we came from heaven. That was the Baptist way of answering the question. But think about it though, real quick. We do think about, getting out. And then when you do think about the aspects of prison or jail or anything like that, all of them guys and gals that are locked up, they do start becoming, what's the word, more primitive when it comes down to their responses and when it comes down to what they prioritize, as important. So could this video be onto something? As far as when it comes down to the state of mind of where man is at. if man didn't feel like it was he or she was inside of a prison, would it still be the same? You know, that we could openly just travel the galaxy. That's actually something to think about for me. But let's keep it rocking, man.
Of alienation. Many people struggle with existential crises and feel a deep sense of not belonging, as if something fundamental about their existence on Earth is misplaced. Signs that humans are not native to Earth. 1. Chronic illness and poor adaptation to the environment. Most humans suffer from some form of chronic illness, whether minor allergies, autoimmune diseases, or more severe health conditions. Even the healthiest individuals experience frequent discomforts such as headaches, colds, or fatigue. In contrast, wild animals rarely suffer from persistent sickness unless they are injured or at the end of their lifespan. Another peculiar aspect of human physiology is our sensitivity to sunlight. Many animals can remain exposed to the sun for prolonged periods without harm, whereas humans quickly suffer from sunburn, dehydration, and even life-threatening conditions like heat stroke or skin cancer. Moreover, while animals instinctively regulate their exposure to the sun, humans often struggle with seasonal affective disorder, SAD, and vitamin D deficiency. Additionally, our inability to perceive the Earth's magnetic field sets us apart from migratory birds, fish, and other animals that navigate the planet with an innate sense of direction.
Want to help drive America's technological edge? Alumni Ventures U.S. Strategic Tech Fund gives you access to startups pioneering innovations that will shape the strategic technologies of our nation. From cutting-edge artificial intelligence to cybersecurity and energy security. This is your chance to invest in the startups that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Click the link to learn more.
Are you like the millions of Americans who have recently opened up their auto insurance bill only to ask the question, what the
Some researchers believe this ancestors evolved on a planet where such a sense was unnecessary. 2. Back pain and skeletal issues. Back pain is a universal human affliction affecting people of all ages. No other animal, even those with upright posture, suffers from such widespread spinal problems. This could indicate that human bodies originally evolved under lower gravity conditions, where the stress on the spine and joints was significantly reduced. Dr. Ellis Silver, a researcher and author who explores the idea that humans are not from Earth, argues that back pain is one of the clearest signs that our physiology is not suited to this planet's gravitational pull. 3. The 25-hour body clock. Human circadian rhythms are naturally aligned to a 25-hour cycle, rather than the Earth's 24-hour day. Studies on individuals placed in isolated environments without external time cues have shown that their sleep-wake cycles naturally extend to about 25 hours. This anomaly raises an intriguing question. If humans evolved on Earth, why wouldn't our bodies perfectly synchronize with its rotation? Some theorists speculate that our home planet might have had a longer rotational period, and even after thousands of generations on Earth, our internal clocks still haven't fully adjusted. 4. Complications in childbirth. In the animal kingdom, birth is generally a natural and straightforward process, but for humans, it is fraught with risks. Historically, maternal mortality was alarmingly high, and even today, despite modern medicine, childbirth remains a dangerous process. One possible explanation is that human babies have disproportionately large heads compared to their mother's birth canals. This discrepancy could indicate that our species originally developed on a planet where gravity was lower, allowing for larger cranial growth before birth. Alternatively, it could suggest that our physiology was not originally intended for the environmental pressures of Earth. Interestingly, some researchers, including Ellis Silver, have proposed that human infants should have a gestation period of closer to 2 years, similar to large mammals like elephants. Instead, human babies are born in a highly underdeveloped state, requiring constant care and protection for years before reaching self-sufficiency. 5. Mysterious extra DNA. A controversial study published in Nature suggested that human DNA contains 223 genes that are not found in any other species on Earth. While some scientists argue that these genes could have been transferred via horizontal gene transfer from bacteria, others speculate that they might be remnants of an extraterrestrial genetic intervention. Similarly, large portions of human DNA are often labeled as junk DNA, with no apparent function. Could these genetic sequences be remnants of an ancient alien heritage? Fragments of a blueprint from a lost civilization? 6. Psychological and emotional distress. Unlike other animals, humans exhibit high levels of psychological distress, including anxiety, depression, and existential dread. While some of this can be attributed to modern societal pressures, these mental health struggles are not exclusive to contemporary times. Historical records show that people have always grappled with deep feelings of unease. This raises a profound question. Why do so many humans feel disconnected from their environment, their fellow humans, or even their own existence? Could it be that something in Earth's atmosphere, electromagnetic field, or overall conditions is subtly incompatible with our biological and psychological needs? Even more strangely, humans are the only species known to commit suicide on a large scale. No other animal deliberately takes its own life due to emotional suffering, which suggests that something about human existence is fundamentally at odds with its surroundings.
All right, if y'all
is
just
the prison
now
planet
joining
theory
in
true?
About what's going on right here, real quick, you see the title. You can read the description if you got time. But as right now, we've went through several videos already, and you guys been kind of leaning toward the idea that it needs to tell men, from the theme that we've been seeing, is that we're on a prison planet. Now, whether or not you believe that, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, and we're just curious and we're looking at our times that we're in, right? But it's interesting to me that when been given the prompt of telling man something, that it decided to comprise a video of these things right here, suggesting that man is not even from here at all whatsoever, and that's why we're possibly needing visitors to either reclaim or destroy. Now, I did grow up Baptist. I'm not going to tell you I believe everything's out there in the media, but I am going to say this. The first thing about knowing something is knowing that you don't know nothing. So, let's continue our journey. That is interesting to know.
While the prison planet theory is undeniably speculative and controversial, it does present some interesting anomalies that mainstream science has yet to fully explain. Could it be that humans are truly aliens to Earth, exiled here for reasons long forgotten? Or are we simply a highly adaptable species that evolved in response to the planet's unique challenges? For now, these questions remain unanswered. However, as we continue exploring genetics, anthropology, and the mysteries of the cosmos, perhaps one day we will uncover the truth about our origins. Whether we are the descendants of cosmic exiles, the product of alien intervention, or simply an unusual evolutionary anomaly, the question remains: are we really home? Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. I love hearing from you. Check out more videos on the screen.
I'm Jessica Scheibach. I'm a principal program manager at Zillow.
This is wild. It's absolutely
But I'm
wild.
not a brother no more, man. Huh? I'm not a brother no more, bro.
Because of this is what I was talking about yesterday.
Because
this
I'm
came
not,
up
bro.
in yesterday's videos.
Explain. I'm not a
It has
brother.
everything to
You
do
said
with
I'm
what Ray J
son,
said last.
a father, a brother. I'm not a brother.
Do you have any siblings?
I mean, I love my sister, but I don't think I'm her brother no more.
I just need more closure with, you said you're not a brother.
I'm just me, man. I'm Dolo.
What is AI saying?
I'm Dolo. So whatever that is. And I'm good with that. But, you know, if I look around and I'm Dolo forever and that's all it's ever been, then what is it? You you grow out of like this first phase of life. Then there's the second phase. In the second phase, a lot of the people in the first phase are no longer there. It's like a love changes, a thug changes, and best friends become strangers. And that's not me, Nas said that. It's so accurate in today's time. And as you grow, people grow and you grow away. And when you grow away, sometimes you're gone. Sometimes it's done. And you try to get it back. You try to like understand this first wave of things. But when you're treated exactly like it was in the first wave, then you understand what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just where I'm at.
Profound
like
things.
I care, but I don't give a fuck.
Accidentally.
Not even one bit of giving a
AI
fuck. But I care so much about the people I love. But I don't even. I had people come over to try to help me give a fuck, and it was give a fuck teachers. I was like, man, I can't get it. I just can't. That equation doesn't. I can't find an answer when you like give a fuck. I'm like, I tried, but there's nothing on the other side of me.
Yeah, I understand where you're at, but understand, you know, even to what you're saying, growing apart. Do you feel like that's just a time or that's a season? Do you believe in rekindling something in
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's phases. There's phase 1, 2, and if you can get to 3 and 4, you're lucky. If you get to phase 2, you're lucky.
I think people don't give you enough credit by being extremely intentional of why you do what you do.
Well, because you don't supposed to expose it.
Yeah.
But I have to here because nobody's seeing it like they would see it from another artist. So they're taking it extremely serious. And it's affecting family and how they feel about me.
Okay. Does that affect you?
No. Does it affect me? No. But does it just depends on what it is. Like if it's taking away opportunities from the family just cause, then yeah, that affects me. How anybody feels about me, no. But if we're a unit, we all have to do our part and make sure everybody, like if you look at Beyonce and Jay-Z, Blue Ivy's on stage. Whether she's still learning the dance moves or she has them perfectly, then the next kids are coming up. Whether you see Orion and Omarion on stage or any pretty much family business, everybody's together.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is I've been exiled, bro.
From your sister?
Not from my sister, because I don't want her to be mad at me like that, because it's not hers. There's nothing she could do about it. But if there's a Disney
There goes one of those words.
premiere.
Hold on. See, I pick up on things, and whether or not it's right or wrong, I pick up on things. And I heard the word exile. I'm hearing a lot about family. Now, yesterday, it was, you guys could go back to the clip, go on YouTube, Beyond Boundaries Reactionz with the, but yesterday at Ray J, at the end of the clip, first they were talking about the LGBTQ community, and then he got flipped and he got up and started talking about how much time we were running out of, and AI seemed fit to put him back in here. This is a different part of that same interview, and I'm hearing family and exile and if from the prison planet to this, I'm just trying to make heads or tails. Let's keep going though. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. I appreciate all of y'all for sitting in.
And I'm getting my daughter dressed up to go. Because, Brandy's in it. And I'm on my way. And my cousin, who's Brandy's manager, calls me and tells me, oh, Ray, today the Disney, this is an 18 and over joint tonight.
Here's how to use Browse AI. Enter the URL you'd like to scrape, and then start training your robot to work.
I don't even know if Disney's ever been 18 and over. Like, you know what I mean? Just tell me you don't want me to pull up. Because I'm a bad look. And I'm good with that. But don't play with me and tell me don't come because it's a Disney 18 and over event. I mean, that's like, that's not okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of that shit, it bothers me when I just like everything to be 100% transparent. And if that's the case, I can deal with that.
Can I be honest with something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I think, with doing, my research and obviously hearing you speak, I think you're you're deflecting an emotion that you and your feelings about, primarily with your sister.
No.
Okay.
I love my sister. What I'm saying is, like, I can't lie. So when you start talking family, I can't go and I just can't. So I had to respond to that.
Yeah.
And then it took it here.
Yeah.
But this isn't the key, like, source of this energy I'm giving now.
Sure.
That's like that's like this part of my body of it.
Yeah, but you have to understand this. When I introduced you as a father, as a son, as a brother.
No, I'm not a brother.
Because I'm telling you, just being 100, I feel like you're sensitive and you're not giving it the energy that it deserves. Like,
because it just happened.
Okay.
This is just happening.
What just happened?
The way I feel about what I'm talking about.
What event happened that made you feel this way? Because now it removes all speculations.
I want to look bad. So I don't want to say something and then it reflects on the other side, even possibly looking bad, because I don't give a fuck, but other sides care about that kind of shit. They care about what people say. They care about the comments. They care about. So I try to be sensitive with certain opinions, with certain people I really genuinely love. And that's my sister. Like, so there's a level, and I have to walk a certain line, because I want everybody to know Brandy's the first person who ever put me on, believed in me, took me out of town when I was getting in trouble. Her and my mom brought me out on tour, saved my life, moved me to the valley. And so I'm always grateful. And so that's the most important. In this phase, now I have kids. And my kids is all that matter. If my kids wasn't here, I wouldn't even give a fuck. I would just die.
No.
I swear to God. Because it wouldn't matter.
Why are you saying that you're not a brother if you're identifying Brandy as your sister? On some sentences. And
no, she's my sister. I said I'm not a brother.
Why are you saying that?
Because I'm not. Because I'm not. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying it. I can't believe I said it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know why I said that. But I said it, so fuck it. And I meant it.
But are you saying it because the expectation that you set forth for you is not living up to what has been displayed?
Hold up.
Or is this something where you say, hey, how am I feeling? I just feel like on some F it, bump it, like.
Nah, never that. I'm never loosely chaotic on thought. Like it all means something, and it's all strategic as far as what's happening. I just know that family's family and we have each other's back.
So how am I supposed to
explain this?
To understand?
I don't know, man.
What's if you're not a brother, what are you then?
I'm a cunt.
What does that mean?
That means what it means. I'm a cunt.
Okay.
I mean, like, that's what I am. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, right now, I didn't know this was gonna, I don't know how we got here.
No, me neither.
Because there's so much to do or to say, but again, when you're talking to me, I might go all the way over here, and because I literally got an issue, like a mental ADD, I got a ADD, and it's like a couple other letters. I don't know what the fuck they be saying it is, but
ADHD?
That is something else too. And it's like, and it makes me like think a lot, but I sometimes will start losing it, and then I get frustrated and I start like tripping.
But prayers go out to Jay and the fam. You know, I don't know what's going on there. The Lord know.
That's PBS NewsHour. Let's go to NBC News White House correspondent Von Hilliard for more on this. Also with us, PBS NewsHour co-anchor and MSNBC political contributor Jeff Bennett, and here on set with me, NBC News senior executive editor David Rode. Von, for 3 weeks now, this story has dominated Washington, and the president has been unable to really change the subject, which is unusual for him. Does the administration have a strategy to move forward at this point?
The strategy right now appears to try to take this actually head on. And that is where you see the Department of Justice going forward with that interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, with the with the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche. There's a question as to whether those transcripts from that day and a half of behind closed doors conversation between the DOJ and Maxwell will be released publicly. Senate Judiciary Democrats have put in a request to have those transcripts turned over to their colleagues in the Senate. This is a moment also that the president, though, has moved forward with a lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal and called yesterday in a filing from his legal team for an expedited deposition of Rupert Murdoch, the head of the parent company of the Wall Street Journal, citing his 94-year-old age and questions over whether he will be healthy enough to potentially go during trial and testify. And so at the same time that the president seemingly wants to talk about anything but Jeffrey Epstein, he is also not backing down from questions that are being directed his way about it and continues to provide more fodder as to exactly what is in those files that the Department of Justice is yet to unseal.
Yeah, Jeff, the president seems to be trying to avoid some straightforward questions about Epstein. He did file that $10 billion lawsuit with the B over an Epstein story. He's trying to morph it into this Obama conspiracy. These are typical President Trump tactics that his opponents have been frustrated with for years. Why now are those same tactics?
I'm going to say this, and I said it yesterday. Excuse me. There is no way this is going to go away, man. There's no way this is going to go away. As long as people have kids, and people will always have kids, this is not going to go away. He could push it away. He could try to, maneuver. He could make even something else happen in the headlines. But this is something everybody wants taken care of. And for Maxwell to be let go, she'll have to bring some names. Not just some names. She's going to have to bring more than 100, in my opinion. But if you're the one person that can set her free, I mean, you just got to kind of really think about it. Trump is the one person that can just really say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and let her go, and that's what it is. So it'd be crazy if we really get to see that list, though. I think it'll put a lot of minds at ease.
Tactics frustrating his base.
Yeah, look, Anna, you can argue that the president's attempts at damage control on Epstein in many ways are making it worse in the sense that it's giving this enveloping scandal staying power. For instance, just yesterday, the president said he ended his friendship with Epstein and kicked him out of his Mar-a-Lago club because Epstein more than once hired people that used to work for Donald Trump. Well, just days earlier, the White House communications director Stephen Chung said that no, Trump kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club, in Chung's words, because Epstein was a creep. Well, which is it? Now, look, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing by President Trump in his former relationship with Epstein, but you could also make the case that the strategy that the administration has for dealing with this at least underestimated, miscalculated the level of outrage among some of the presidents. This all started because of MAGA conspiracy theories that Jeffrey Epstein didn't commit suicide in prison, that he was in fact murdered and left behind this list of powerful officials, a deep state cabal of Democrats. This was a conspiracy theory that was promoted in many ways by Donald Trump, by Pam Bondi, by Kash Patel. Those two folks now occupy and hold great power in the administration. And so their refusal, Bondi's refusal to release the documents, really adds to more questions and has created this rupture within the base. And to your point, Anna, this scandal has had staying power to the degree that no other Trump professional or personal scandal has.
Yeah, David, the Washington Post.
Yeah. That, man, what makes it all just retarded is that, well, man, you campaigned on it. And you campaigned on it, and I am pretty sure in the background somewhere, you know, somebody probably had the thoughts that, hey, you've kept every promise that you've ever said you were going to do. Maybe not ever, but you've kept a lot of promises. Hey, though, you know, the American people will forget this one. This will just be over with in a matter of days, or it'll be. And I think that they can't believe that everybody's still stuck on it. I think they cannot believe that everybody's still stuck on it because it's that important. Still a whole bunch of kids that haven't been found. It's that important. So, let's get back to it. This video came up yesterday as well.
Should I switch to Monday CRM? Updating this field is so confusing. This CRM...
I need you to understand something crucial. His expression became more serious. The enemy's...
Yeah, hold on. Y'all gotta hear this joint. So as you
Hello
can
everyone.
see,
Welcome to my video ad where
the guy here dies, and when he dies, he has a dream of sorts. And well, not die and has a dream. He dies and has an experience, man. He dies and has an experience. He says he sees Jesus, and this is what Jesus had to say to him during this experience. 22-minute video, so we're not gonna play the whole thing. But yeah, y'all check this out. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Craziness. But this is what AI is giving us, so I'm gonna screen up. Let's get to it.
My name is Cameron. I'm 29 years old. And on September 8th, 2022, I died in an explosion at SpaceX in Texas. I'd been working at SpaceX for 6 years as a propulsion systems engineer. Started right out of college with big dreams about getting humanity to Mars. My wife Elaine and I had just bought our first house in Brownsville. We were trying for our first baby. I believed we were building the future, you know? Every day I walked into that facility thinking I was part of something bigger than myself, something that would change everything for our species. But I had no idea what was really happening behind the scenes. That morning started like any other. Coffee at 5 a.m., kiss Elena goodbye while she was still sleeping, drive the 30 minutes to Starbase. We were doing final tests on the Raptor engines for the next Mars mission prototype. Everything seemed normal. Routine checks, data reviews, the usual team briefing. I was down in the engine bay when it happened. We were running a pressure test on the fuel lines when something went catastrophically wrong. The explosion was so massive, so sudden, that I didn't even have time to be afraid. 1 second, I was looking at my tablet, checking the pressure readings. The next second, everything went white. But here's the thing. I didn't lose consciousness right away. I felt this incredible heat, then this crushing weight on my chest. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. I remember thinking about Elena, about how I'd promised her I'd be careful, about how we'd talked about baby names just the night before. Then everything went dark. What happened next changed everything I thought I knew about life, death, and what we're really doing here on Earth. Suddenly, all the pain was gone. Complete silence. No more crushing weight. No more burning in my lungs. I felt this strange lightness, like I was floating. And that's when I realized I was floating. I was looking down at my own body, trapped under twisted metal and concrete.
Hey, my name is Jerry Norton, and in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how to make $5,000 to $20,000 flipping houses.
Blood everywhere. There were people running toward me, shouting my name, but their voices sounded so far away. I tried to call out to them to tell them I was okay, but no sound came. That's when I understood. I wasn't in my body anymore. There was this tunnel of light, But it wasn't like the cliche you see in movies. It was alive somehow, warm and welcoming, but also powerful beyond anything I'd ever experienced. I felt myself being pulled toward it, and I didn't resist. For the first time in my life, I felt completely at peace. Then I saw him. Jesus was standing in the light, but he wasn't how I'd imagined from all those paintings and movies. He was radiant, glowing with this incredible love that I could actually feel washing over me. His eyes were the deepest brown I'd ever seen, filled with such compassion that I immediately started crying. Not sad tears, tears of overwhelming joy and relief. "Cameron," he said, and his voice was like warm honey mixed with thunder. Every cell in my being recognized that voice, even though I'd never heard it before. "I've been waiting to show you something." I tried to speak, but the words caught in my throat. Finally, I managed to whisper, "Lord, I don't understand what's happening." He smiled, and that smile contained more love than I'd felt in my entire life combined. "You've been working so hard to get humanity to Mars," he said gently, "but you don't know why they really want to go there." "What do you mean?" I asked. That's when he showed me things that shattered everything I thought I knew. Jesus waved his hand, and suddenly we were standing in what looked like a massive conference room. But this wasn't any conference room I'd ever seen. The walls were made of some kind of dark, glossy material that seemed to absorb light. Around a huge obsidian table sat figures in expensive suits, some I recognized as world leaders, tech billionaires, people I'd seen on the news. But there were others there too. Beings that weren't quite human. "This is what they call the Council," Jesus said softly. "They've been planning this for decades." I watched in horror as these figures discussed Mars colonization, but not the way we talked about it at SpaceX. They weren't talking about backup plans for humanity or scientific advancement. They were talking about escape routes. "The awakening is accelerating faster than we anticipated," said a man I recognized as one of the world's richest individuals. "More people are turning to prayer, to seeking truth. We need to be off planet before the final harvest." One of the non-human beings leaned forward, its eyes completely black. "Mars will serve as our sanctuary when the king returns. We can continue our work from there, rebuild our influence once the dust settles." I felt sick. Jesus, what are they talking about? What awakening? What harvest? He placed his hand on my shoulder, and immediately I felt calm again. "Marcus, there's a spiritual war happening that most people can't see. These beings, these fallen ones, they know their time is short. They've been using human ambition and technology to build their escape plan." Then he showed me another scene. I saw the SpaceX facility, but from a spiritual perspective, there were dark entities hovering around the buildings, influencing decisions, whispering ideas into the minds of the engineers and executives. I saw how they'd been guiding the Mars project from the very beginning, not to help humanity, but to create a refuge for themselves. "The technology you've been developing," Jesus continued, "it's not just about getting to Mars. They're building something else there. Something that will allow them to continue deceiving and controlling souls, even after I return to establish my kingdom on Earth." I saw massive underground facilities being constructed on Mars by robotic systems that had been sent there years before any public announcements. These weren't research stations or habitats for human colonists. They were something far more sinister, preparation for spiritual warfare on a cosmic scale.
Yo. All right. That's a mouthful. But it's something to think about, though, at the exact same time. I mean, you guys could go check it out. It's a SpaceX worker dies and returns with the horrifying truth about Elon Musk from Jesus, as the title reads, man. Do you think that's possible? I mean, a lot of us are familiar with the Bible and the story in the Bible, but is it actually possible that, Jesus' return could be foiled by, you know, the individual that knows of it. I mean, you would think, I mean, of course, I ain't trying to make, like I said, entertainment purposes only. But if you really think about it, like, I would think to myself, if I was a bad guy, to try, you know what I'm saying? And if they know that they try to no avail, it doesn't mean they still ain't gonna try. It's just maybe trying back in, you know, the times when the Bible was written, and trying today is totally different types of try. I posed the question, you guys think that it's the end, that we're close to the end, or you guys think that we're close to the beginning? Like, what happens if, in fact, as AI is taking us down this rabbit hole, what happens if, in fact, this is a prison planet, and who's coming here, or what's coming here, which is the thing that's supposed to be here in November, the Atlas, the 3-eye Atlas, at 130,000 miles per hour. Do you think that they're coming with the key to the cell? And if so, or if not, are they coming to harvest? Like, there's this final harvest thing that's talked about. Now, mind you, I did not comprise these videos together. AI has comprised them together to demand something. So me sitting here trying to decipher what is going on, I'm like, man, is there a possibility that we could be like so out there with what we've been paying attention to a point to where we are completely numb? We don't see anything whatsoever. The only things that we're focused on are the tangible things that we can touch in front of us, and that, you know, do you think that it's too late for our understanding, or do you in fact think that the cage is going to be open? Do you think that it is sanctioned by what you guys would call the source, or the creator, or Abba, or God, or Yahweh, and so on and so forth, Jesus, Yeshua? And the fact that, you know, these issues or these topics they're more important and more talked about than they've ever been talked about ever before, that they're actually coming out on the news about these things. We know there's some dark, I mean, we all feel it, right? Nobody's playing with anybody. We can't be playing with each other at this point. They won't even give up a list of pedophiles. Come on. Get back to it, man. Because ultimately what's going to end up happening is that we're going to find ourselves all looking down the barrel of the same gun. We're going to be ill prepared for whatever is going to take place. If it's rapture, hopefully prepared. If it's an invasion, well, looks like we have a date. November 2025. Just a second, let's get this back on. Something to think about, guys. It's looking like we're not alone, but are they angels? Are they demons? Are they aliens? Or are they something else altogether? Let's go. Let's see.
Don't die until you witness these awesome upcoming celestial events. On the evening of July 24th, 2037, 4 planets, Venus, Saturn, Mercury, and Regulus, will line up after sunset. Venus will shine the brightest, but Mercury and Regulus might be hiding near the horizon. Then on August 14th, 2050, Mars will be super close to Earth, just 56 million kilometers away. It'll glow big and red all night long. And in 2061, Halley's Comet returns. On July 28, it'll be at its brightest since 1986, and 1 day later, it'll zoom closest to Earth. But the craziest part? Around 2083, a quiet little star called V Sagittae will explode and outshine almost everything.
Slack is kind of like the backbone of how we communicate. It's signable. I love using.
Welcome to this episode of Nights for July 2025 with me, astrophysicist Dr. Smethurst. This is the show where we chat about what you should look out for in the night sky in the next few weeks, and then we chat about what's been happening in space news in the past few weeks. In this episode, we're chatting about the first images released from the new Rubin Observatory. We'll also chat about the construction that's beginning on LISA, the ESA project to build a gravitational wave detector in space. We'll look at JWST's new view of the infamous bullet cluster, and the big news this month, the detection of 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object that has ever been found. There's chapter markers down here if you want to skip ahead to any of those specific news stories, plus any scientific research papers I mention are all going to be linked in the description down below, free to read. So without any further ado, let's kick things off and start by looking up. Alright, this month it's all about the planets, with Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn all visible with the naked eye right now. That's right, Saturn is probably back in our night skies again and is visible from around about midnight. Saturn isn't the brightest of the planets, but it does have a yellowish tint to it to help you pick it out. Remembering also that stars twinkle but planets don't. But if you're still struggling to pick out which of the many dots in the sky Saturn is, don't worry, because on the 16th of July the moon will act as a signpost for you as it comes close to Saturn on the sky. It'll be a half moon, again rising around midnight and sticking close to Saturn all night. So if you're up late, see if you can spot Saturn, or if you're up early, see if you can spot Saturn along with Venus and Jupiter rising in the east before the sun in the early morning as well. Jupiter and Venus will be much brighter than Saturn. They should be incredibly obvious as like the only objects left in the glow of the sunrise towards the east. The only things bright enough to keep standing out amongst that glow of the sunrise. But again, if you're not sure, the moon does make it round to them as a crescent, coming close to Venus on the 21st of July and then closest to Jupiter on the 23rd of July. And once you've used the moon as a signpost like that, you'll then know for the rest of like July and into August, okay, I look out of this window in my house at this time and I'll be able to see Jupiter and Venus, and oh, it's those two objects over there. A few of you might also be able to spot Mars really low near the horizon after sunset this month. And again, the moon will signpost where to look on the 28th of July. Although the closer to the equator you are, then the easier it is going to be to spot Mars, just because it'll rise higher in the sky. Those of us quite far north in the northern hemisphere are really going to struggle because it's going to be too low down on the horizon. If you fancy a challenge though, this is the best month to try and spot Pluto. Perhaps you have a telescope and you've been looking for an excuse to break it out. Well, here is your excuse, because Pluto is just too far away for you to see it with just your eye alone. It is too faint. But Pluto gets to what's known as opposition on the 25th of July. So it makes a nice straight line with the sun and Earth in its orbit, meaning it is the bright...
I got a question. How did people back in the day see these planets? I can get how we see them today, you know. But maybe they dreamt about it. That's probably what it is. So they woke up and said, there's other planets out beyond the clouds. And then they ran with it. Because I don't know, man. I don't know. Either that or there's aliens. Really? So, and no one wants to admit there's aliens. So, I'll keep it rocking.
It gets in our night sky because it's perfectly lit by the sun, and it's easy to find too because it's always in the exact opposite part of the sky to where the sun is. And if it's not clear for you on the 25th specifically, don't worry, a week or so either side of that is going to be absolutely fine. But the 25th is ideal because it's going to be a new moon on that night, so the sky will be the darkest it gets. You won't have any moonlight drowning out the very faint Pluto. Also at the end of July, on the 30th, we have the peak of the Delta Aquarids meteor shower. Although there'll be meteors from around about the 12th of July all the way through till the end of August. Now this meteor shower is best for those in the southern hemisphere just because of where the radiant is, where it's going to appear like all the meteors are streaking from in the sky. As long as you're not too far north in the northern hemisphere, you'll also be able to catch a glimpse, although there'll be less meteors visible. Typically for this meteor shower, you get around 25 meteors an hour in the darkest of skies. So that's roughly a meteor every 2 to 3 minutes. But that is only in the darkest of dark sky sites. If you're anywhere near a city or any light pollution, you're going to see less than that.
Real
because the
quick,
faint ones
has
being washed
anybody
out
seen
by
that
the light
that
pollution.
prophecy?
If you still
from,
fancy having a go at
Celestial prophetess Celestial on YouTube, where she says the stars will fall. Hey guys, go check that out. The star, I think it says the stars will fall from the sky, and it's her prophecy. And she talks about the celebrities dying back to back, and same prophecy she had. She had the prophecy with Malcolm Jamar in it as well. He was part of that whole prophecy, and yeah, man, yeah. And then and then when it comes down to I would like to say Christianity, or when it comes down to Bible and things like that, or spirit, being spiritual. Let me just put it like that. When it comes down to it, it's what happened. What happened? What as so above, so below. So you know what I'm saying? It's almost as if it's echoing each other. You know what I'm saying? They're complementing each other. And I remember that, again, the AI put together this list. So trying to kind of pinpoint where AI is getting at with this one, I'm not sure, because it is entirely too long for us to go into it. But I'm pretty sure it was going to go right back into, it's right here. How long is this? Do we want to do that? Like 1, 3. All right, we'll do it. Just for sake. Seeing what she was getting with it.
How does Simpro help take your business?
Why you gonna do that? Why you do that? But appreciate everybody out there rocking with.
Chat about the third interstellar object that's ever been discovered.
Yes.
This was incredibly exciting this month. It was so fun to be in the office on that Wednesday morning and have colleagues coming in yelling, 3i, we've got 3i. 3i meaning the third interstellar object. So what even is an interstellar object? Well, it's basically an asteroid or a comet-like object, a lump of rock, right, that instead of orbiting the sun as part of our solar system, is just passing through. It's formed in orbit around another star in our galaxy and then has been ejected out of that system, and it's just been roaming the space between stars, interstellar space.
That's not what those are
until it's then happened upon the solar system. Now, there's been 2 of these things found in the past. The first, 1I, dubbed Oumuamua, was found in 2017. The second, 2I, was dubbed Borisov, and that was detected back in 2019. Then it's been quiet ever since. Now, we know these are interstellar objects because of their movement through the sky. So like with any new asteroid discovery, we track its movement across the sky, and then with that, from its positions, we work out, okay, well, here's its rough orbit around the sun. When we do that with interstellar objects, we don't get an orbit. Sure, their trajectory when they're coming in looks very similar to comets coming from the far edges of the solar system that almost look like a direct shot towards the sun. But the orbit we calculate for interstellar objects doesn't loop back around the sun in an ellipse or a circle. Instead, it's what's known as a hyperbola. If you ever did any advanced geometry at school.
All right. So interstellar object, I get what you're saying, but we gotta help me understand how it broke free from another star's gravitational pull and thrusts itself 130,000 miles in the direction of Earth. You got to explain that to me. You can't just make this seem like it's just... But then yet again, I'm not a scientist, but it sure looks... Okay, we're moving pretty fast on the planet Earth, right? We're moving... I forgot. We'll ask... Somebody ask Siri. Put it in the comments. We're moving pretty fast, right? It's like Earth... But then it's not that big. But still, there would be even more of a gravitational pull the bigger that it is, right? So it's like Earth breaking from our sun, and then it's just flying 130,000 miles in a certain direction. Come Come on. Well, how did it break? And since this object is far lighter than the planet Earth, I need to know how it broke through a gravitational pull. That would help me. That would help me a lot, because I am a pretty smart guy. Really? And everybody knows that I'm pretty smart. So, and we're never gonna trust anybody else but me when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I'm dead majority of the time, and you guys know it. So don't hate. Let's get back to this video.
Remember doing the thing where you looked at like cones and what shapes you made with intersecting planes on cones? I don't know why I think everyone will remember this. But with that, you get a hyperbola and it doesn't loop back around. Basically, these interstellar objects come into the solar system, loop around the sun, and get slingshotted back out again into interstellar space after visiting us for a brief time. And us spotting these things depends on a few things, like how big they are, so therefore how faint are they in the sky, but then also just random chance. Like, space is really, really big, and the solar system is just a tiny, tiny patch of it. So the fact that we even see any at all is incredible. And the number that we see and the rate that we see them at helps us put constraints on, well, how many of them must there be roaming around interstellar space? So people were very excited when on the 1st of July, the Atlas Survey Telescope in Chile first reported observations of a comet-like object that was coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and it was on a hyperbolic trajectory. It was originally dubbed A11PL3.
If grad school is on your mind, UMGC is waiving their application fee through September 3rd. Classes are 100% online.
Somebody find galaxy in Sagittarius.
Z, but now it's been confirmed as an interstellar object. It's been officially named as 3I Atlas. It's currently about 670 million kilometers away, or 4.5 times the Earth-Sun distance. And it's worth stating now, just in case people are panicking, it does not pose a threat to Earth. Its closest approach to the sun is going to be on the 30th of October, when it will be just inside the orbit of Mars.
You're saying that it doesn't pose a threat to Earth as far as hitting it?
In the meantime, the object's physical properties and its size.
As far as hitting it, ma'am, are you talking about that? No, because that's not what Harvard's talking about. It's talking about alien attack. That's what Harvard's talking about. We're going to get attacked. Yeah, we're going to come back to your video. We're going to email you.
Is Earth a prison planet we've been brought to by aliens? Has anyone asked themselves if maybe Earth is a prison planet where humans came into existence because we were brought here by extraterrestrials? This is a theory in which many people believe, and I felt compelled to share it with you to think about, because the connections are evident and the proof is hard to ignore. Much of this theory is based on the fact that humans are the only beings on Earth with a tendency to sunburn easily, with a dislike of naturally occurring foods, and with such high rates of chronic disease and extremely high rates of infant mortality. Nothing seems to contradict what is proven by science about hominids' long existence on Earth, and quite the opposite is true when it comes to Homo sapiens, or the Cro-Magnon, or modern man. We are the descendants of the past inhabitants of Earth who were confined to isolate or stop mental illness, murder, and crime from spreading. And yet, we are just as prone as our ancestors because, like them, we cannot escape the fact that we are capable of exhibiting mental illness and criminal behaviors. No one is at fault for this inevitable part of human nature brought about by diverged genetic code. There's no escaping this part of man being drawn to violence, lust, vengeance, theft, even murder. It's unthinkable, yet our very own species is what's causing these perverted horrors. We lie, cheat, steal, kill, rape, debauch. And if that's not enough, we exert dominion over our natural resources and pollute them. It seems like nothing can escape the horrors we inflict towards our own kind, other beings on the planet, or the distant interplanetary civilization. The universe's peace is under human threat for its murderous and perfidious ways, but it seems like the Earth is a strategic prison planet carefully chosen for its composition of hominid life form sustenance. The theory of Earth being a prison planet suggests that our ancestors were scattered to remote locations on different continents and varied climates, with careful selection of Cro-Magnon's color, size, shape, and languages. Memories were erased before they were placed on Earth. There was a belief that if survival was possible among the prisoners, they will coexist and build relationships, interbreeding with the hominid species of Earth. How wrong they were. Soon, humans began to dominate the Earth. That led to Cro-Magnons bringing Neanderthals to near extinction after a couple of thousand years. They who have been ruling the Earth's surface for more than 200,000 years. Initially, the exile of Cro-Magnons was working according to plan, but apparently the sudden turn of events proved all the assumptions and oversights incorrect. The primal state of prisoners was impossible to achieve as soon as our ancestors started building a small-scale interplanetary civilization. The Earth now, as we see it, is the result of a history of man showing and excelling in their ability in fields of architecture, art, written languages, agriculture, animal husbandry, advanced mathematics and physics, religion, law, government, and technology. But men did not interbreed with other life forms, instead systematically manipulating and destructing them instead. On top of that, the Earth witnessed modern man's savageries. But what about the astounding development of our ancestors in intelligence and technology? Testing reveals that genetic memory caused intellectual reversion instead of progression, prompting a heated debate over different supposition on the matter. Others believed that our ancestors were exterminated immediately, before they remembered genetically, while others never doubted that our ancestors would self-destruct, observe, and curtail development.
What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? You think we sabotaged ourselves, man? Is it even ourselves? Are we the good ones or are we the bad ones? Are we the weak ones? Are we the ones that survived? Are we the ones that hid and then survived and then came out and then started making up our own rule? What didn't happen, man? There's a running theme throughout the course of the night, and it's the prison planet, it's visitors, it's interstellar objects, it's and then it's political stuff. And then, of course, the guys dream about, of course, the elites trying to get out of here and go to Mars. What do y'all make of what AI is trying to say, man? I think that is crazy. I think that, if anything, we should just take the opportunity to do more research and see what comes out to all this. We got another part of this is going to take place tomorrow. I just want you guys to just think on it. I appreciate hanging out with me, man. If you can, go ahead here down on the bottom. You'll be able to see a question. Answer that, man. It's like, do you think the media and the government's drip of information are to normalize people for what's to come? So, like, they're like, hey, there's something coming to Earth. Oh yeah, the Epstein file, that's bad. We got to look into that, and then all this stuff. And tomorrow, man, I'm really interested in this Golden Dome and how that's gonna work. I want to see how that's gonna work and what that's gonna stop. What are the repercussions of doing that? But outside of that, man, you guys are thebomb.com. I appreciate you for coming and kick it with your guy. And if you have any type of questions or any type of videos, man, I want somebody to send me some videos, man. I won't just review AI stuff. I promise. I won't just view AI stuff. I'll make sure that I thumb through and see what you guys are saying. So maybe we could split the show up into two parts, things that you guys really think is interesting, and putting it together, and then things that AI just wants us to know. At the end of all of this, man, guys, just remember to have each other's back and know that there's nowhere to hide. There's no way we're going to get around any of these issues or any of these problems. Make sure you're preparing yourself and your family, and making sure you have a backup plan. Make sure you do your research. Gentlemen, go to the gym. Ladies, find a way to Get some books for the guys if you get into a survival situation or whatever. I don't know if it's gonna be a war or an invasion that happens, but either way it goes, be ready, man. Nobody want nothing bad happen to you, baby. We don't want nothing bad to happen to you. But with that being said, man, you guys have a beyond blessed night.